How does a government plan a glossy, multi-billion-dollar economic overhaul when they aren't even sure they'll survive the next 3 months in Parliament?
It's a massive contradiction.
Right, it really is. And, that's exactly what we are unpacking for you today. Welcome to the deep dive. We are taking the government's highly ambitious 4-year economic vision and stress testing it against the stark realities of border tensions and domestic political storms.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover.
There is. So if you want to know where this economy is actually heading, well, you are in the right place.
Let's just jump right in. The overarching mission from the Commerce Ministry is, honestly, it's massive. They want to transform the country into a free trade hub.
And fast, right?
Oh, extremely fast. The strategy involves aggressively locking down free trade agreements with Europe, the U.S., Canada, and the U.K. by 2026.
Okay, let's unpack this because the mechanism here is actually pretty clever. Think of this trade strategy like building a diversified financial portfolio.
Diversification, exactly.
Yeah, by pushing for these specific FTAs, they are intentionally shifting reliance away from any single massive economic power. It protects the economy from sudden geopolitical shocks.
Right.
Plus, they are deliberately structuring these exports to boost small local businesses, alongside the massive conglomerates.
And what's fascinating here is how that same diversification mindset is fundamentally changing tourism and agriculture, too.
Wait, how so?
Well, they're pivoting hard away from just, sheer tourist headcounts. The new metric of success is high-value, sustainable tourism,
Meaning what exactly?
integrating health, safety, and local economies. And in agriculture, instead of constantly putting out fires over oversupplies, they're focusing on long-term structural processing.
To secure regional food stability.
Exactly.
I have to jump in here and push back on that tourism point, though.
Go for it.
Because, on paper, it sounds great. But isn't a push for high-value premium tourism inherently at odds with supporting grassroots, small-scale local vendors?
Yeah.
When I hear premium, I think walled-off luxury resorts, not mom-and-pop street food stalls.
That is the friction right there. Yeah. But the economic logic actually flips that assumption.
Really?
The goal isn't just to build fancier hotels. It is about changing the spend ratio. So instead of funneling 10,000 budget tourists through the exact same crowded hotspots where they buy cheap trinkets.
Right, the usual tourist traps.
Exactly. You attract 1,000 wellness or eco-tourists who are willing to spend hundreds of dollars at locally sourced, community-owned organic farms. Or, licensed health retreats.
Ah, okay. So you are driving the revenue much deeper into the community rather than just scraping the surface with massive crowds.
That's the idea.
Yeah, I can see the math working, but that requires absolutely flawless execution.
Yeah.
And execution requires something they might not have, which is time and stability. You can't become a regional free trade hub if freight trucks can't safely cross your immediate borders without facing military checkpoints. Which brings us to the Thai-Cambodian border.
Yeah, and that situation has required intense management. Right now, the military has issued strict orders to their troops to maintain extreme patience.
Just ignoring the provocations.
Yes, actively ignoring physical or online provocations to prevent the ceasefire from snapping. The clashes remain strictly verbal right now.
Wow.
Yeah, while the Army focuses its ground efforts purely on landmine clearance.
And diplomatically, they have made a really strategic move. They are joining the UNCLOS conciliation process.
That is the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, right?
Right, exactly. By bringing in a neutral third party to settle maritime zones based purely on international law, they are completely stripping the volatile international politics out of the equation.
It is a textbook de-escalation tactic. And looking at the region, it is working. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, the external borders are holding while the domestic front is practically boiling over.
Yeah, that is the real threat to the 4-year plan. And look, we are looking at our sources purely objectively here. Putting all partisan politics aside, we are not endorsing any sides, just reporting the controversies listed in the material.
Right. Totally impartial.
But the sheer number of hurdles facing the ruling Thai party right now is a reality they just cannot ignore.
It's a lot.
It is a brutal 3-month storm of crises. You have intense scrutiny over data privacy concerns in the Thai AI passport project.
Oh, that's a big one.
Ongoing conflicts over state railway property and the Khao Kradong land disputes, and serious questions surrounding a massive 400 billion baht loan decree.
Which raises the ultimate question, right?
Fair.
Can they survive their term to actually see these long-term economic plans through?
That is the million-dollar question.
Having a parliamentary majority provides a strong buffer, obviously, but academics and our sources warn that if the government fails to solve immediate, everyday cost of living
It was
issues,
day-to-day stuff.
exactly,
Yeah.
it could easily ignite street protests. And street protests can cut a term short, regardless of how safe the math looks in Parliament.
Which perfectly explains why the Prime Minister just instituted a strict one-year performance review for his cabinet.
Oh, the API.
Yes, they are jokingly dubbing it the API, the Newton Performance Indicator. They know the clock is ticking loudly.
And the temporal mismatch is just glaring here. I mean, they are using 4-year macroeconomic tools to try and outrun 3-month microeconomic emergencies.
Which leaves you with this final thought to mull over today. If a government is banking on complex, multi-year international trade agreements to fix the structural economy,
Right.
but their actual political survival depends entirely on lowering the cost of groceries for the public tomorrow,
Yeah.
will their ambitious 4-year timeline ultimately be the very thing that brings them down?